So at Apophis, we plan to get really close, turn our thrusters up, move a lot of material on the surface, and then back away and take another look. We want to see what its subsurface looks like, and we're excited for this spacecraft maneuver that is going to help us do that.
Greetings and welcome to the second tome of Ancient Library. This video is going to be all about 99942 Apophis, which is a pretty famous asteroid, and it's going to pass by Earth on Friday the 13th of April 2029 at the lesser distance than 1/10 of the moon's distance to the Earth, which is actually pretty close. On the second part of the intro, you saw a quick clip from NASA, how they're doing an operation on an asteroid with a mission called OSIRIS-REX, which I'm gonna explain in this video as well. And it's got a relation to Apophis. They actually want to do it on Apophis as well, and I'm gonna touch on this. Yeah. So at first, I want to start with some terminology. I want to get some subjects right. The first thing is the asteroid. Yeah, I mean it's a small rocky body orbiting the sun. And small is pretty relative at this point. If they say small, they don't mean like a planet or a moon or something. So in the scale, it's kind of small. And if two asteroids colliding or breaking apart for some reason, then we got a thing called meteoroid. And if this stuff is actually going hit our atmosphere of the Earth or of whatever planet, it's called a meteor, like a very famous subject. And if it touches down on Earth, the meteor is actually called meteorite with an I. So there are quite some things that can get messed up at some point with the wording at this point. And yeah, a meteor is called a shooting star for humans. So that's basically, it's got nothing to do with an actual star. It's just because it looks like a star who's moving at the sky, and that's why we call it shooting star. But it's a meteor or a comet. And a comet is another thing which I'm going to explain right now. It's the difference between a meteor and an asteroid, or a meteor and a comet, is the comet is made out of ice and dust and not rock. And it got a different appearance. It's more blue, purplish, and yeah, it got a cometary tail, which is pretty long, and got like, it looks great. Yeah, it's like actually happening in the sky if you see this, more than a shooting star. And the other thing is the coma. The name, the comet, derived from coma, I guess, and it's like the nebulous envelope around the nucleus of a comet. Nucleus means core at this point, so you see the tail and the coma creating the actual depiction of a comet. One time in my life I witnessed one. It's not so long ago. It's like 6 weeks ago. And I got another person with me, so I knew I was not hallucinating or something. And it was way bigger than a shooting star, and it was purple, blue, and yeah, I was actually talking about Apophis, which was pretty nice. And then we witnessed the comet, and yeah, that's about that. So in this picture, that's actually no comet. You see a meteor here. That's a meteor over Berlin, and it got a greenish color, and it depends what's actually in the asteroid, like the composition of the thing and the reactions occur. So humans can see 300 nanometer wavelength, so that's basically these colors. That's all we can see. And I know we can everything, like a comet is purple, blue, and then we got meteors green, maybe some comets green, and we got the red orange area. So everything is covered in the sky basically. So God knows which else, if we got like better eyes and can see more light reflections, we might can see pretty astounding things. But it's already nice, I guess. So now we're going to talk about the actual asteroid Apophis. And it's like, you see it now on the screen. It's simulated with a computer engine. And it's about 350 meters across, like roughly 1.2k feet. Which is actually, it's, I got another picture where you see later where you got like some buildings and some other things like the London Eye and stuff, and you can see it in the relation to the thing. Like it's actually, if you there's other asteroids I'm going to talk about for now, I'm gonna tell you some info. It's discovered in '04, and if it actually would hit Earth, it's like it got a force of about 1,000 megatons of TNT, which is actually 20 times the biggest nuclear bomb we made, the Tsar bomb. We can see it in the picture, and it's way bigger than the Hiroshima or like even the H bomb. So it can actually do some damage, I guess. And yeah, that's why it's pretty famous, because this meteor is actually the closest object, the closest known object we can see the trajectory like before it happened, which has come to Earth. So it's a pretty interesting thing. And yeah, if we relate the meteor which killed the dinosaurs allegedly, or like which killed the dinosaurs, it was like 100 million megatons. So this is like no relation. This is different levels, and it was like over 10 kilometer, over 33k feet across. So that's like a different level. It's like 20 times, 30 times bigger than Apophis, and this was actually a different event. But still, I mean, if the thing is hitting, yeah, it's gonna hurt. I mean, if one country, a small country, is hit by the thing, I mean, it's almost eradicated. Depends on how the thing is actually, yeah, if it's hitting direct, if it's creating a wave, whatever. We're gonna talk about all of this in this video. So yeah, for now, I'm gonna tell you something about the name and the actually origination of Apophis. Funny thing is, I read a lot and watched a lot of videos about this topic, and many people say Apophis, it's the Greek god of war and something, and we all know the Greek god of war isn't Apophis, it's Ares, and planet-wise it's like the planet Mars. So I don't know where they get this from. Apophis is actually an old Egyptian god, which by the name means big snake, giant snake, demon snake, and if you say it's a category of a god, it would be the god of darkness, because it's the counterpart to Ra or Re, the sun god. And Apophis actually symbolizes the cycle of life and death. And in the lore, the guy has to be killed every day, and he's coming back in a loop, which is pretty interesting if you think about the asteroid, which is like got in orbit and coming back until it hits, basically. I think that's the history of an asteroid. And I don't know if they actually know this. I'm going deep on the naming here, or I don't know, maybe some things are connected. And yeah, the cycle of life and death, I mean, if he flies by, nothing happens. If he hits, gonna be actually ending the cycle for some people. But yeah, I just want to talk about something about the lore here. And it's like, he's depicting the battle of eternity between good and evil, basically. And another thing is, he is depicted as another snake. Pretty cool image, to be honest. And another thing, if another Egyptian god, or if Apophis gets battled in the ancient lore, the sky is actually turning red. So, I mean, there's room for interpretation on this one. But yeah, it's a pretty nice name for an asteroid, I guess. And I mean, the name Apophis, it's not only for the one event on the Friday the 13th of April, 2029. I mean, I'm gonna go deep on this in the next few minutes. But I mean, the Apophis, the name is for the asteroid itself. It's coming back. It's not for this one event. It's actually the name of the asteroid until the asteroid is going to perish, like via collision or via deflection, whatever we are going to do in the future. So yeah, let's get back to the actual asteroid. And here's a small clip of a simulation, and you see it's taking a turn, and that's not random. That's actually explainable, and I'm gonna explain this later. But yeah, here you see the ISS and some satellites, and you see the relation, how it's coming in. Should come in any minute. Yeah, there it is. And yeah, it's taking like a turn, and yeah, I mean, it's coming pretty close, and as far as I know, it's like the closest PHO, which means potentially hazardous object, which coming to Earth. And this for itself, on this day in 29, it's all going to be visible for Europe and I mean African and like parts of the Eastern Hemisphere. You can see this if the weather is good. It's going to be like in the evening, I think like 9 p.m. or something around this time. I mean, we got time. It's like 6 years, 5.5 years. But yeah, it's going to be a visible event for everyone. And yeah, let's get some facts out about the actual asteroid. PHOs, like mentioned, potentially hazardous objects. They need to be like 140 meters across, roughly 500 feet. And they get the branding if they're like 7.5 million kilometers close to Earth at one point. And that's like way more than Apophis. Like Apophis is like 20k miles, which is like a fragment of this. And it's an astronomical unit, like it's like 0.05 astronomical units, and that's one Earth-Sun distance, and that's 7.5 kilometers. So they can determine if that's a PHO. So it's like the closest PHO, and I guess one of the most hazardous. It's not a very big asteroid compared to others, but yeah, the fact of the matter is it's coming pretty close, and it can be pretty dangerous, and we can study it, and it will cause some effects. And yeah, back to PHOs. Most of the PHOs are asteroids, some are comets. And yeah, I mean, we know how big Apophis is, and there are like some levels in it. There's like, if it's 1 kilometer across 1,000 meters, it's category disrupt civilization. And if it's 10k meters cross, like 10 kilometers, it's extinction level event, like the dinosaur thing, which was actually that big or even bigger. And yeah, causes a lot of events, not only the impact, like long earthquakes, week, month lasting earthquakes, and the sky was dark and all of this. I mean, this was like actually extinction level event for most of the creatures on this planet. And now we're going a little bit deeper on asteroids for itself. On this picture, you can see, and in the picture before, you see there's like an asteroid belt, and between some planets in the Milky Way and the Kuiper Belt asteroids. So we got asteroids all over the place, basically, and they orbit the sun like planets do. And on this picture, you see there's one big asteroid which is actually more than like nearly 200 kilometers in diameter. Like it's like insanely big. Like I think it's very, very big, maybe even a moon size. I don't know. And it's actually, they see it, it's like 10 quintillion worth of metals on it, which is pretty funny. Like people actually making this math, but yeah, it's typical human stuff. And on this picture as well, you see the case of Siberia. I want to just point out it's called the Tunguska event, and in later videos I got some information that this was not actually an asteroid. It was some other thing. And at first I heard about this information, I was thinking, maybe it's just weird, some nutcase story. But I heard some corroboration information from another person, and I'm going to touch on this on a later video, but I'm pretty sure, like I can't know for certain, I was not there, it's like 110, 20 years ago. But yeah, I'm going to do some pro and contra on this, and I'm going to dive deep on this event for itself on the video, just for you to know. Yeah, then we go back to the actual asteroid, and so I mean we got different levels and different classification, orbital classification of asteroids. That's these 4 types, and the interesting one is the Aten type, which is like Apophis is the Aten type, and it's called Aten because the first one of its kind was 26-2 Aten, and now they name the whole category off of this asteroid, and you can look on Wikipedia and other sources if you're interested in this topic. So yeah, we talk about the Aten stuff and near-Earth asteroids. I mean, there's PHOs, and near-Earth asteroids is a category above that. So we got like about more than 30k as of October 23, and 2.4Ks of these are PHOs actually, so potentially hazardous objects, and the rest are just in this classification, but not so dangerous, like Apophis or even some other things. I mean, 2.4K, that's a number, I guess. But in the total scale of things, we got like about 12k Amors and 19k Apollos, so it's even a lesser number in this correlation to the other classes of orbital classifications. So yeah, I mean, that's some info, but what will actually happen, yeah, and when? At first, after some studies, like where they discovered the asteroid in 2004, they said if it will hit at some point, it will most likely at the date 2068. And at some point, there was a chance of 2.7%, which is insanely high for an asteroid. The other ones got 1 in a million, 1 in 200K or something, which is pretty high for an asteroid. But then they've done more studies and more investigations, and they actually thought a thing. They actually mentioned a thing which is called gravitational keyhole. That's a tiny region of space where a planet's gravity, like the Earth, would alter the orbit of a passing asteroid. Like on this picture, this is the only picture I found which can actually depict the thing. It's like a small zone around the gravity, because we got around the gravity of the Earth, so pretty near to the Earth, which is Apophis gonna come in 2029. And first they said it might hit this keyhole, but then they confirmed it later, saying it's gonna hit this keyhole, changing all variables basically, and changing the trajectory. So they said, like, with a collision chance of almost 100% in 2036. This number we heard for the first time in this video, and they're talking about the keyhole is changing the thing so drastically that it's taking a pretty different orbit, and it's actually going to hit in 2036. So at this point, I want to mention 2 more things, and these things are actually things happen in the space all the time, and it's about forces stimulating the movement of asteroids. And these are 2 originating from the sun. The first effect I'm going to talk about is the Yarkovsky effect, which generates tiny thrust on the asteroid through the spin, like not the spin itself, because the asteroid is moving, it's spinning in space, and one side is hot because the sun is hitting, sun radiation, and the other side is cold because it's not, the sun is not there basically. So this effect is called Yarkovsky effect, and it generates some thrust, and we actually got not much information on this effect, so we're going to learn this, and scientists are looking forward to learn much about this effect in 2029 when Apophis actually comes close to the Earth, and we're going to learn about this gravitational keyhole as well. And no matter what, if the thing is not hitting 2029, with scientists are pretty sure, like they're saying 100% it's not going to hit, then we're gonna see the thing, and we can gather much data and do more research on the thing, which will actually precise our next like projections of the thing. The other effect, which is stimulating the movement, is the effect called radiation pressure effect, which is generated by the sun, I think, through all objects. Like it's like a photon thing, and everything is got hit by the sun, getting warmer, and you get a little boost from it. So there's like 2 sources of alternate thrust. And yeah, like I said, in 2029, they're gonna learn a big chunk of new information about these new effects. So yeah, then the last info we got is it's gonna hit the keyhole, and then it's gonna collide 2036. Like, it's panic, yeah? But we didn't heard panic. And because of this, like, we heard no panic because another big study from 2021 with very precise radar data from the Goldstone Observatorium, supposedly determining his exact orbit for at least the next 100 years, because of which it completely loses his hazardous status in 2029. So that's a lot of info. I mean, they say they can actually precisely measure the orbit for the next 100 years, but then they say it's losing the hazardous status only for 2029. I think it's because, they actually, this is like the big study when they say, okay, it's not even a PHO anymore, yeah? So we got different science levels which do different research and came actually to different answers, and now it's like removed from the PHO table. So at this point, I want to do a quick insertion here, and I mean, just think for yourself 1 second. If the thing is gonna hit in 2029 or 2036, whatever, and they know it, they knew it 100%. Like, the movie Don't Look Up. I mean, I can recommend this movie to watch it 1 time. The second time it's get boring, but 1 time it's a pretty nice movie to watch. And imagine they would announce it. Like, I would think the world is gonna change pretty much. Like, people building bunkers. It's gonna get pretty raw on the planet. I mean, everybody can think for her or himself and come to a conclusion. I mean, you can either trust everything and can sleep well, and yeah, I don't want to spread panic and I don't want to spread false info, so just want to spread some information and you can make your own picture in your mind. And I mean, think for yourself and yeah, make your own conclusions. But I mean, there's another thing which I'm going to touch in this video. I mean, it's national security. Maybe they can say, okay, we couldn't tell the public it because it wouldn't be more demise and misery and more deaths even. I mean, today in this day and age, this is imaginable, yeah? So yeah, think for yourself. The next thing I'm going to touch on is the actual mission I mentioned in the start. And not only this mission, I'm going to touch on more missions, but this is a mission which was actually successfully done this year. And the mission is called OSIRIS-REX, or was called OSIRIS-REX, which is broke down on the screen. Origin, spectral interpretation, resource identification, security, regolith explorer. And APEX, because they changed it from REX to APEX to the new target, which going to be Apophis, like we heard at the start. So it's called OSIRIS-APEX. Pretty cool name. And yeah, what's the actual mission of the thing? We can see on this picture, in 2016, the thing was launching, then it was going to its target. It was an asteroid called Bennu, a pretty big asteroid, and I think it's another PHO, I'm not sure. And was mapping the thing, and in 2020 was actually, like we saw in the intro, jumping on the thing, like getting some samples from it, and then it returns. And it's actually not long ago, it's like 3 weeks ago, at September 24, 23, where the thing actually successfully dropped the capsule and we got the samples. And now it's gonna head to Apophis to get in a trajectory around Apophis, and then with the thrusters they can actually aim and can land on the thing and do the same thing. But this mission is actually some like economic, scientific type of mission. This mission is not gonna protect us from anything. Like it's not gonna deflect or gonna do anything with the asteroid if it actually going to hit at some point. But we actually got some other missions which are actually mentioned or planned. I don't know if you can say planned, but give me a second. Yeah, China and Russia was announcing possible missions, like maybe humanity will work together on a big mission with all the states, because I mean, if the thing is hitting China, if the thing is hitting US, I think we all work together. I mean, maybe we can do, I mean, imagine that one day we stand up and they say, okay, it's gonna hit 2030, 2040, and we know this for certain, like, which was actually pretty noble if it's like in the public area and we can discuss this in the public area and people not say, oh, we're gonna not talk, this is national security. But yeah, I don't want to lose the thread here. But imagine this for a second, and everybody's working together and we actually do this. Would be a great achievement for humanity at itself and would like actually build some boundaries, I guess. But yeah, we will see on this one. But we got another missions. This is the DART mission, the Double Asteroid Redirection Test, which was actually successfully done as well. And was done like far away from the Earth, and it contains 2 asteroids. One got like a stimulated path, stimulated trajectory, and they hit each other and then gonna deflect the thing basically. And they performed it on the 26th of September 2022, about 11 million kilometers away from Earth. And there are future mission planned. Maybe that's the thing where you can actually do something with an Aton type asteroid and maybe can deflect it, but we will see. Then we got China and Russia talking about possible missions containing ICBM type nukes to deflect asteroids. Like, this is like a pretty wild way to actually do this. I mean, we need mathematicians, and I mean, maybe we can get rid of these nukes maybe at some way without hurting people, but I can't imagine if you hit the thing and it's like got debris and shrapnel, and it's even more lethal. I can imagine that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep guys updated on this one because it's pretty interesting. And I think in 2029, which is 6 years, in 6 years we can get the most data, and I'm gonna start some more missions to actually get a good grip on the thing and learn more, and maybe we get the world together to get some solutions to actually save our asses if something is getting pretty heated up. And I mean, I talked a lot again in this video, and I hope it was clear and I could present some information. And another side note which I want to say is, like, everything which is public on information is not classified and it's not secret. That's a natural thing. And so maybe there's way more going up in the space sector, and we got way higher technologies and devices and actual whatever, maybe spacecraft, I don't know, that's just speculation on my side. But maybe we got even more advanced stuff, and no nation is going to admit it because it's they don't want to show their tools to the public and so to other countries, because we're still living on a planet where other countries investing in their own military power to gain advantage about other countries, and the whole world is a big battlefield. And I just heard down there in Israel and Hezbollah and Hamas, I don't want to get it twisted, there's like war again, and I mean it's ongoing for years, for decades almost, and people just don't learn. I don't know, it's like embarrassing for the human race. That's still war in Ukraine and we can't get it solved. I mean, even the last guy is gonna acknowledge that this thing is gonna be creating money and is a war machine, and people dying, and the poor people dying, and the rich people are gonna do some contracts. I don't want to go on Joe Biden on this video, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But the quick side note I want to mention is, in this video we actually got 3 Egyptian gods. We got actually Anubis on the screen, like you may clocked sometimes, and this is the guy's chosen to be my hologram for the next time. If you watch my videos, you're gonna see him once in a while on a screen. And the second one, of course, Apophis, the main subject of the video, which is depicted in a humanoid snake form in this picture. And back to the Egyptian meaning, which I explained earlier. Pretty nice that it's like the god of the cycle of death and life, and he's actually coming back in a loop. Like imagine that, like the asteroid. It's actually pretty cool. I don't think many people notice. I didn't notice by myself until I done the research. And the last one is actually this guy, and it's Osiris, because the mission from NASA is actually called OSIRIS-REX, and it was not on purpose, so we got 3 gods in here. Pretty funny. And this was the video about Apophis. I hope it was enjoyable, and I'm gonna collect information and make an update later if I got enough information and we got some breakthroughs and happenings regarding this celestial object or other asteroids, and see what the future holds. For the next video, I'm gonna continue my series, which I'm originally want to start with, was the UFO and alien thing, and I'm gonna drop a quick preview, and see you guys next time. Bye.
The concern that I have is that in 1952, what if there was someone there to hear what we said in the Pacific? We said we are a hair's breadth away from being in possession of godlike knowledge, where we've been trapped here on this planet, unable to move beyond our own moon. If there was something or someone there to hear us, they probably heard us as saying we're on the verge of being able to come visit. That's terrifying.